Hi everyone, I'm Ian Little and I am helping out to organize the uncoast-unconf. Welcome to my house, and you are probably hearing in the background that's Binford and Winston. You might hear their clickety-clack on the floor and them playing in the background, so please bear with me and bear with them, and we're going to try to, all three of us, try to help you get set up with RStudio and GitHub in preparation for the uncoast-unconf. So just a quick note here. I'm trying to start with the basics, but I've been doing some of the stuff for a long time. So it's possible I'm going to use terms that you don't understand, or I'm going to move too quickly through something. If you do have questions, feel free to file a GitHub issue and we'll get to how to do that. Or even email me at the email address you see there. I'll try to address questions via email or maybe even talk about them in the next video. There are no dumb questions, so feel free to ask anything, like what does IDE mean? Well, it stands for Integrated Development Environment. Basically, it's software to help you code. So why are we doing this? In April in Des Moines, we're only going to have a few days together, and we really want you to be as ready as possible when you arrive. On the other hand, if you are already experienced with RStudio, the IDE, Git, and GitHub, and you're happy with your setup, you don't need to do anything to your computer. You're welcome to watch this, but no action is necessarily required. However, if you do want to get some of these things set up or renewed, my purpose is to help you walk through that. One thing though, if you are already set up and you're happy, just make sure you have access to your GitHub login and password. So we're going to do this over 4 weeks leading up to the unconf, and we have a couple of goals for this week. First of all is the RStudio IDE. We're going to find out what version you have. If need be, we'll update it. And then to make sure everything's working, we're going to verify some stuff on the terminal. So with the RStudio IDE, what I'm going to do is open up my IDE, pardon me, and what I'm going to do is go up here to Help and About RStudio, and what you'll see is right here is a version number. Now if your version number is 1.2 or greater, I think you're fine. One other thing you might want to look for is, I'll just OK out of this, if you have this terminal window, or this terminal tab here on your, perhaps it's on your lower left. If you have that, you're doing great. Now what I'm going to do is, just for the heck of it, I'm going to update my RStudio IDE, just to walk you through it. So I'm going to go to Chrome. I'm going to Google RStudio Preview. We come to a page that looks like this. Binford says hi. And because I'm on a Mac, I'm going to download this guy here, macOS X. And what I'm going to do on my Mac, I'll just drag this window over here, is just drag RStudio into my applications once everything's unpacked. I am told that an older item named RStudio exists in this location. I want to replace it. Oh, I can't do it because it's in use. So what I'll do is close RStudio. Try this again. Replace. All right, and we are looking for, it looks like here, RStudio 1.2.13.27. And let me launch RStudio again. Okay, I've got my RStudio back. I'm going to go to About RStudio. And I see here that I have version 1.2.13.27. So good news. The other thing I want to do is go to the terminal window. And this gives me a terminal window onto the computer itself. I am just going to type date here, and it's going to tell me the current date and time. So this will be a homework assignment you'll have as well. So if you get through this, then your RStudio IDE is all set. If you've got a Windows machine, updating the IDE is very similar. Here we'll look at my Windows machine, and I've done the same thing here. I've just Googled for RStudio Preview. I go to Preview. And I want to get Windows 7 Plus. While I'm doing that, I'm going to look at my existing installation. So if I go to Help and About RStudio, I'll see the same sort of thing here, where this version is 1.2.12.06. And I think I'd probably better quit out of this so we can install. Looks like we're ready to go. Okay, we want to install. Go through our wizard. I've always just used the standard locations. All right, looks like we're done. Let's finish and open it up and make sure of our version. Okay, RStudio is coming to life. I'm going to go to Help, About RStudio, and we see our 1.2.13.27, which is great news. So just one more thing to show you on the Windows RStudio IDE. If I go to Terminal, your terminal may look differently from mine. That's okay. We'll get that sorted out later. But if I go to my terminal and type date, it responds to me with what the date is. In your setup, it may tell you what the date is and ask you to set a new date. If that's the case, just hit enter, move along. We have succeeded. The other thing we're going to do this week is to get set up on GitHub. So the first thing you need to know is, do you have an account? And if you need an account, let's get one. You need only a free account. If you go to github.com, I'll bring up that browser window. You'll be asked to sign up, and as you see on the website, this stuff is gone into much greater detail and much more thoroughly on Jenny Bryan's excellent reference, Happy Git with R, and she'll walk through steps about how to choose usernames, so on and so forth. But long story short, get yourself an account. You need nothing but a free account. Don't worry about paying anything, at least not for us. But then when you get all set up, you'll get something that looks like this. This is what I see when I log into GitHub. And the trick is, if you have an account already, just make sure you have access to your login credentials. In case we need to enter it, that you know where you can find it. So once you're able to sign into GitHub, there's a couple of things I'd like you to do. I am going to go to this repository uncoast-unconf day 0. So here's the home page for the repository, and there's a link to this on the web page itself that the video is embedded in. And I'm going to create an issue here, and the issue is please say hello. and then respond with an emoji. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to submit this new issue. And I'm going to respond to myself here. If you want to just do an emoji, I'm just going to say, hooray, I created an issue. So what I'd like you to do is just simply respond to this issue, introduce yourself, say hi. This is just a way to get comfortable with GitHub. And if you're an experienced GitHub user, this shouldn't take you too long. It just seems like a neat way for us to say hi to each other. The other thing I'd like to show you is that at the unconf page itself, and this is why we're really doing this, is you may have seen this already. We are, as a group, getting together to figure out what we want to do when we're in Des Moines. There's some issues here already that people are discussing. Here's one from Eway. You see how people have responded here. If you have an idea, make a new issue. So this is why we want to start with getting you up and running and feeling comfortable with GitHub so you can be a part of this conversation. On the unconf website, at the Day 0 page, where this video is embedded, we have some links to some reference material. One reference you're going to see a lot is Happy Git with R by Dr. Jenny Bryan of RStudio. I hope she won't mind me saying this, but I think that Jenny Bryan is one of the best friends an R developer ever had. Please follow these links to get more detail and a fuller picture of what we're discussing. Just to summarize, update the IDE to make sure you have a terminal window. On GitHub, make sure you have an account, make sure you have access to your credentials, and to verify that everything's working, say hello on that GitHub issue that I was showing you. So if you have any questions or problems, and if you are a part of uncoast-unconf-2019, one thing you can do is simply file a GitHub issue. And do it at the same repository where you're introducing yourself. I'll do my best to try to help you out. If your problem is getting a GitHub account yourself or using it and you can't file a GitHub issue, that presents a problem. Or if you just want to communicate more privately, please email me at ian.little@se.com. All right, so that's it for this week. Hopefully this goes by smoothly for you. Looking forward to chatting with you on GitHub and to all of us getting together in Des Moines. So anyhow, see you next week. Next week we're going to look at updating your R installation. Thanks.